In today's video, I'm finally going to be reviewing the Autel MDXM2, also known as the Autel Lite Plus. Now, you're probably looking at this drone and thinking, wait a minute, Autel? That's not orange. Yes, it is white, and that's because this drone comes in three different colors. Gray, it comes in the classic orange that Autel is known for, and it comes in this white color. You're probably going to be thinking white. Reminds me of the Phantom. It's probably going to get dirty easily, isn't it? I haven't cleaned it. I've been using it for about 2 weeks, but I did notice between some of these seams as well, I did notice some little specks of dirt. That's probably the disadvantage of having the white color, but again, it's available in classic orange and silver. The drone comes with a battery, of course, and you get 2 more batteries over here, a multi-charger that charges the batteries one and then the next one, and then the next one. Takes about an hour and 20 minutes to charge each battery. It comes with its own ND4, ND8, and ND32 filters. It comes with this new Autel designed controller, which is a pleasant surprise, I must say. Autel revamped it and they made this really stylish, nice, comfortable to hold controller. Now, it does not come with this bracket and it does not come with this tablet. I had to purchase these separately. These are from Tripletek. Feels nice and premium. It's pretty hefty and dense. The sticks are on there nice and solid. This has got good spring, not too springy, not too loose or weak. Nice tension in it. This whole controller build quality just speaks premium. It is plastic. It's nothing metal construction. The arms are carbon fiber and they're pretty sturdy. This is the new ultra camera that Autel is shipping this drone with, and it's all metal construction. No plastic gimbal arms, no plastic camera housing, nothing. The UV filter, which you can screw off, that comes with the drone, has glass built in to the part that you screw off, so that's really refreshing because a lot of camera manufacturers now are putting this glass that's supposed to be on the filter, they're putting it on the camera. I don't know why. Looking into the construction of the glass or the lens glass that this camera comes with, you can see that it is cone shaped. This is quality molded glass, and that's probably what the ultra in this camera is about. It's beautiful and refreshing to see a drone coming with bubbled curved glass. That's usually an indicator of quality. More on the camera later, because yes, this camera, spoiler alert, packs a punch. Batteries too are really well built. Slides in from the back, locks in. When you want to take it out, you squeeze the 2 buttons and you slide it out and it comes right out. Just tap the button at the back, typical way to check your battery, and it's got 4 lights, all 4 lit up because I just charged all 4 up. Did I mention I really like this white? Upgrading this drone was pretty simple and straightforward. I just took it out the box, charged up all 3 batteries, popped them in one after the other, and it asked me to update each battery. I also got prompted to do an update for the drone and everything. It was all over Wi-Fi between the controller, the tablet, and the drone. Pretty simple. I did not have to connect to any computer or any external software. So I like to do my IMU calibration. It was pretty simple, straightforward. I just followed the instructions on the screen. I took it outside before my first flight and I did a compass calibration 1 time, and that's pretty much it. Never had to do IMU, never had to do a compass calibration after then. So setting up this drone and getting it up on flies just like any typical modern drone these days, and very simple and easy to do over the air. It comes with this Autel branded bag, nothing special, nothing rugged or fancy. The material just feels basic, very simple. It does come with cables, Android and iOS cables, which is really nice. In the front compartment over here came with some extra props, 6 props to be precise, that it came with extra, and some user manuals. Priced at about $1,800 and something for the entire Fly More combo. Is this drone worth the money? Or more importantly, the question these days is this drone worth it for you? Because everyone is different, everyone has different needs. So buckle up, let's deep dive into the Autel MDXM2 Lite Plus drone. Are you ready? Well, let's do this. This camera says 6K. It actually tops out at 5472 by 3076, which is also known as 5.4K. Call it consumer 6K, call it 5.4K, whatever you want. Now it shoots this in a maximum of 30 FPS, and it does it in standard color profile as well as log, not HDR. Okay, so note that it does shoot in 4K up to 60 FPS, and 4K you can shoot in HDR mode. The image coming out of this camera in standard color profile is just downright amazing. Well exposed. The whites are not overexposed. If you look in the white areas, and I'm talking about just throwing this camera in auto, all your white parts are not overexposed. It is full of detail, especially if you drop that bad boy in 5.4K. Straight out of the box, I hardly had to do any tweaking. I just slowed down the yaw motion a little bit to make it yaw a little bit slower to the left and to the right. I set up my button customization on my controller right here. You can set this button up so when you press it once, it can change between smooth mode, the standard mode, and the ludicrous mode. It just makes flying to the shot a lot faster, switching up and going into a smoother mode to get some nice smooth buttery shots a lot easier and faster. This is just intuitive, and this just responds, well, like a DJI drone pretty much. There, I said it. Now, this camera also zooms, and it zooms in standard color profile and it zooms in log as well. I personally, in 5.4K, I will zoom twice and it looks pretty good. It's not quite 4K, just shy of 4K, but it looks damn good. The 4X zoom, I would use that kind of like an explorer mode, but I will personally, not saying it looks bad, just me personally, in the quality that I'm looking for, I will not put that into any video. It's just not good enough for me. Now, let's come to the elephant in the room, which a lot of people I've heard talking about, and one of the other reasons why I've been shying away from this drone. You put it in log and the camera takes complete control. And to make matters worse, I'm trying this mode out. I'm spinning around, looking around with the drone, and I noticed the white balance is changing, and I'm like, oh my God, they won't even allow me to lock the white balance. And then the shutter's changing sometimes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, the whole white balance, the shutter, the whole, this is going to ruin my shot. I started getting like an anxiety attack because I'm just so used to having complete control. I forced myself to give it a shot. Just let it do its thing in auto. Take a look at this log footage. When I color graded the first set of log footage, there went all my anxiety. Now I just throw the drone up, leave it in auto, and let it do its thing. Now, would I prefer full control? Absolutely. But I'll tell you what, I have been trusting this log. I have been flying it. You can see the footage there for yourself. It is superb. This is the first time I've actually looked at my edited footage and looked at the footage coming straight out of camera. Like, the standard color profile is just that good. Look. When my LUTs come out pretty soon, they will be available and working with the Autel Lite Plus as well. This camera takes beautiful photos. I mean beautiful photos. See for yourself the samples, the resolution, the high quality, the detail that's in these photos, not only in the day, but also in the night. Especially if you know how to edit these DNG files. Oh my gosh. Also, this drone has a couple of cool features in it. Like, it shoots panorama shots, right? You can take panorama photos. You could take the sphere. You can take the vertical. Although the vertical doesn't take up that full vertical space, you need to crop. So Autel, if you're watching this for any reason, if you can make the vertical a full vertical that takes up your entire phone real estate, that would be nice, instead of having to take a vertical and then crop. Now let's talk battery life. That's important. I'm getting a solid 30 to 31 to 32 minutes. Now I'm squeezing the life out of this battery. I'm landing with anywhere between 10 to 15% all of the time. I'm always filming in 5.4K, and I'm always flying in ludicrous mode except for when I'm executing the shot. So I'm pushing this drone. If you're one of those people that's very particular about battery health, just go into the battery section in the app and it will tell you if the battery is healthy or not. So that I really do like. It's a nice touch and just helps you to trust the drone even more when you go to fly, knowing that it's monitoring the battery for you. The range on this controller right here, especially with the antenna all the way out, is phenomenal. This thing rocks. Absolutely no complaints about the range, no complaints about the fidelity. The signal is just as pure, as clean, as strong. Behind me, in front of me, at the side of me. Wow. This new image transmission that Autel has put out here really works. You will not be disappointed. Now, this drone also has some smart modes or some smart features like the orbit, the droney. It's got those modes as well, like the spiral shot. Now, I'm not a huge user of these types of modes, right? Especially since it's not available in log. It's only available in standard color profile, and I like to fly my shots myself. But I did try them out, and they work pretty good, I would say. And these smart modes are also available up to 4K. I also want to take a moment to mention the Autel Sky app. Everything is available at one swipe up or down, which is really nice and intuitive and fairly simple to use. Now, do I wish that I had an extra wheel on this controller? Yes, an extra wheel to scroll through the menu and then to tap on it. A scrolling wheel that can actually tap as well would be nice down here and helps people like us to fly without taking our hands off the sticks to toggle and change settings. So yeah, if you are building a smart controller, Autel, please add that in. That's a little downer for me, but the menu is pretty intuitive. You slide through it. It's easy to use and very easy to get accustomed to. It's very simple. Now, one huge little thing that I just have to mention is incognito mode. Basically, you can toggle both the front and the rear lights off on this drone because the front lights are blue and they are very bright. Like, you can spot these blue lights from a mile away. In the Autel Sky app, you have the ability to go and just toggle them off and turn the lights off in case you want to film something sensitive or something close up and you don't want people to get spooked. This thing nails focus. You don't need to tap to focus as far as I'm concerned. Even though it's autofocus, it just does a good job of focusing itself, making sure that it's always in focus and you don't ever have to worry about that focus. It does a fabulous job. It's not all sunshines and rainbows here. There are a few things that you need to be aware of because this, like every other product, it's not perfect. Number one is the tracking. I can't get this drone to track a car. I don't know if it's coming in a future update or maybe I'm doing something wrong, but it doesn't track vehicles. It can only track persons. Now, from the time I step out of my car, the little circle comes up and it picks me up right away and it's ready to track me. However, I will say as it's tracking, it comes pretty close to me. And that kind of concerns me because the closer you get to me and I'm walking, the most likely there are trees around and light poles and stuff around. So I'm often concerned about the drone just getting wiped out because it doesn't have top sensors or side sensors. One thing that really bothers me about this controller, as much as I love it, is the battery life. I will get about 3 to 4 batteries out of this controller before it dies, especially if you're doing a lot of long distance or you're flying in challenging areas like I am. This thing will drain the battery. So every time you charge your drone's batteries, you must charge this controller battery. I was hoping that by now you'd be able to tap this button and it would show the battery life. No, you have to turn it on to see the battery life, which is not a big deal. It starts blinking right away, and just hold the power button and turn it back off. I guess I'm just spoiled. There's hyperlapse on this drone. There is cruise control hyperlapse. You can start, just set it in hyperlapse mode, set up how many pictures you want to take, how often you want it to take pictures. It does take pictures in auto and in manual. It has an orbit hyperlapse, which I tried once and It seems to work really good and even at night, so that's nice. And then it has just a free hyperlapse where you hold the stick down, you pick the direction, and it starts just taking the shots. And then you press and hold a button, you put it in cruise control. You don't even need to keep your hands on the stick. But that only keeps the hyperlapse in one direction. What happens if you want to do a day to night hyperlapse where you can, you know, mark a few points, save it, and then come back at another time, maybe sunset, then another time at night, then another time at day, and fly these points and put together a really beautiful hyperlapse, especially since the drone has the battery life. It would be awesome if this drone could have a waypoint hyperlapse. Huge. Another little nitpick is when the drone is hovering, sometimes I'll notice that, I don't know if it's the drone or if it's the camera, but it just sways a little bit. It doesn't stay spot on perfectly. It'll sway a little bit to the left and sway a little bit to the right, and it's a little bit annoying. It doesn't do it all the time, but it does it sometimes. Another little gripe is ludicrous mode, as ludicrous mode is really fast. It works good, especially in high wind. And you pop it into ludicrous mode, it moves, it books it, it finds its way back home, but you will get props in the shot in ludicrous mode. Not a big deal or a deal breaker for me because I don't film in ludicrous mode. This is my last gripe. There's a high bright night mode, there's a medium, and there's a standard night mode, and this gives the image a more enhanced look. It's not available in log, and when you go to this night mode, it really enhances the image. But the problem I have with that is that it also crops, and cropping to me means that you're not using the full sensor. I will just leave it in standard color profile, or I like to put it in log because I want to squeeze a little bit more dynamic range out of it, especially since when I'm filming at night, I'm filming 5.4K. To me, that's better than using the night and the super night mode that's available. I wouldn't say it's gimmicky. I'm just not a fan of cropping at night. So if you are looking for a quality camera in a compact, foldable, mid-size, not too heavy, not too light drone, wow, wow, wow. I highly recommend this drone. I'll tell you right now off the bat, if you are a camera buff, especially the fact that they're using that round glass that I was talking about earlier, no plastic or any composite or anything like that, just pure glass. The image and the detail, especially at 5.4K, is unmatched at any drone this size. And the sharpness coming out of this camera, and I don't mean over sharpness, I mean real sharp image, detailed image, is unmatched in my opinion. Even though this is 8-bit, I have no problems color grading with this. I have no problems pushing the colors with this. This drone is kind of winning my heart right now, I'm not gonna lie. Since I've picked it up, I just cannot put it down. All right, that about does it for me here, guys. I hope this video was helpful. I hope this helped to put this in perspective. I've supplied you with the information. I've showed you the footage. I've explained the results and the pros and cons that I've found using this drone. And with that information, I'm pretty sure you can make a quality decision. Are you looking for a drone? Are you happy with what you have? Are you planning on selling some of your drones and upgrading and maybe thinking about this? Are you in the market for a drone right now and maybe this is on your mind? Let me know where you guys stand. With that being said, guys, make sure you hit thumbs up, hit subscribe, hit the bell to get notified when I release new Autel MDXM2 Lite Plus videos, as well as other drone videos and reviews in the future. I will see you guys, well, whenever I can. Make sure you become a Patreon, guys. Big benefits to Patreon. Get direct access to me. Any questions? I'm right here on Patreon. Support this channel, and there's benefits. Last Mini 2 went all the way to the UK.